Well, hello YouTube. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today we've got a new and it's a speedaire 1 horsepower 13-gallon air compressor with a 1/2 horsepower motor that was put on it, and it's got some issues. It needs some rust removal and repainted and copper cleaned up, and basically this needs to be going over and polished just like I did my last one. It's missing the filter, which is no big deal. I can make one for it. And the box here needs to be, oops, not even paying attention to my camera. The box needs to be straightened up and cleaned up, bent straight, and neatened up a little bit better. That and 3 wires coming in is looking terrible like that. So first of all, that's too big a cord for that thing. I'll probably use it, but that's an awful big cord. So we're going to clean this thing up. This is going to be our next project. This is going to be, I think it's going to be a build. I've got 2 choices. Oh, I see now I got to make a plate for that motor. Yeah, that's only a 1/2 horsepower motor, so we'll take that one off and use it somewhere else where it's workable, and we'll make another motor or put another motor on it if I ever find one. So that's my next thing, is to look for a motor. I had given it some thought that maybe I could take the tank off of that one and make it work on this one. If I do that, then that means I've got to repaint the whole thing, tanks, everything, so that it would match, and build some kind of a 2-tank air compressor to give it more volume. And for this little shop, I believe that's all it would need, and I'd like to do that. I just hope that once I get started in it, that it doesn't get too awful complicated. Basically, the only thing I can see that needs to be done is some brackets made and stands and stuff like that, but we'll see. But that's our next project, and I hope I'm not talking too loud. I'm testing out my new lavalier mic system, so it's going to take some time to get used to it. I'm a loud talker anyway, so we're also testing out the new camera that I got, which I'm not real impressed with, for the simple reason. Let me see if I can put you up here on a tripod somewhere and talk to you fellas. Alright, let's see. We got wires hanging off of us, and I did say I was going to hide them, but I didn't. So, but anyway, what I've got going on here is that new camera that I got. It's got the screen that flips to the other side, so I can see my beautiful self in the screen while I'm talking to you guys. I'm just kidding. I had did a external mic input on it and did a video of it, and I also destroyed a camera, my SJ4000. I don't know how I destroyed it, but I'm not a man that can't admit that he's screwed up. So I went to put an external mic on it just like I did this one, but everything was so tiny on that thing to try to solder. I don't know if maybe a piece of solder got onto the other side and shorted it, or what, but my polarities were right, and I didn't have a small enough tip, so it's either that or maybe one of the components next to it got a little too hot. So at the time I should have used a heat sink. But anyway, I took the screw-in lens off of the SJ4000 that was widescreen, so it looks like it's pretty close to the way it was when it was on the SJ4000. Now it's only screwed in by 2 threads in order to get it to focus, but once I get it to where it needs to be, then I'll just take some hot glue and just put a little drop on the threads and the housings so that it won't turn no more, which is the way they do it from the factory anyway. So we're going to get started on this air compressor and see what we can get done. Now this is going to be a slow process because getting motors around here is next to impossible without spending a whole lot of money that the fellow doesn't have. So I got to work with what I got and wait for a deal. And I'm going to go ahead and get my stuff together here and get some stuff organized here and get it out of my way and start looking at both of these air compressors and see the best route to go with it, and maybe do some drawings. I don't know if I get that far into it or not. I'll just probably draw it in my head. So we'll get this stuff apart and see what's going on with it. I'm going to try it to see how it runs, and he said it would run, but it wouldn't run long enough to get it up to full pressure. So basically he's just got too much pressure on the pump, and the motor's not strong enough to handle it. It's only a half horsepower motor. So anyway, you guys stay tuned. Alright, now we've got where we're ready to start taking this thing apart, and I've already got pictures of everything. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to unhook the wires and the unloader valve. So, yeah, this ain't as wide as I thought it would be. Alright, I think I can get the most of it in. Now we need to get, oh, and that box has the thing on it, just bent. That part there is bent. That won't be a problem. I can fix that. And put that back on there just like it's supposed to be. Straighten it up and bend it back the way it's supposed to be bent. And switch seems to be working. Yeah, we clean that up, make that nice and pretty. That'll be like a brand new one when I'm done. As you can see, I don't even know if I had it in the shop. I wouldn't pay attention. But we can clean that up and make that look like a brand spanking new one. Put a new thing on it, pressure gauge. and be done with our bad self. Alright, this is going to be the part that I am dreading. We're going to try this thing and plug that hole. Yeah, it's got good suction, man. Oh yeah. Yep. When you can hold your finger on it. Yeah, it's got air, it's holding air, and that was only one turn. Yep, one turn, got good pressure. Yeah, it's gonna make a nice pump. So, let's see what we gotta do to take this off. Oh, that'll all get cleaned up. Yeah, they've buggered that bad boy up. As you can see, chewed it all to pieces. And I think I've got some of this key stock here somewhere. So we'll put that aside. Alright, now we're going to take this fitting out. As soon as I find the right size wrench. I don't know why I don't just pick them all up and bring them over here, because I always need them anyway. And we're going to put that in here just to make sure we don't lose it. Alright, other than, let's see, dipstick here. It almost looks like something's missing. There's a cap, I believe it goes on that. I have to look on mine and see, because I think it's got the same kind. But he said that he just filled that with oil. And let's see where it's at. He sure did, brand new. That'll all come out, and I'll put air compressor oil in it. And other than that, that thing's ready to clean up and paint. So we're going to set that aside. It's ready. Alright, this here is ready to clean up and paint. Now we're going to take the motor and see if we can't get this pulley off, and it looks in pretty bad shape. And this is basically my process. I just start taking things apart, and once I've got it all tore down, then we'll start cleaning it up. So this here will get wire wheeled and cleaned up, and it's got some messed up spot right there. I might have to see the neighbor, he's a plumber. I might have to see him, see if he's got any of this pipe so I can put some new on it. He's probably got some laying over there. You know, I may even have some. So now we've got the motor taken apart, and I'm not going to worry about making that plate for the back of this because I'm not going to be using this motor for this. So I'm just going to leave this alone, and this is all ready to go for the next thing. So it's even got the screw in it to hold the plate down. So at least somebody was decent enough to put the screw back in there to hold that down. You know, all the screws are there. So cool, this will work. And the guy that I got this from, Andy, thanks a lot, Andy, man, for making a trade with me. I appreciate it. He said he was going to go watch my channel, and haven't heard back from him. Must have scared him off. So anyway, this is the motor done. So everything's pretty much down to where we're cleaning up. Everybody, this is my third time doing this exact same video, trying to get it right. I'm going through a transition with cameras. I'm having a hard time. I've gotten some broken cameras, and the only thing I have left is the JVC, which I'm using right now. The other piece of fucking crap that I bought off eBay, that I put the external mic thing on it. The video on it sucks, as you can see on the earlier parts of this. This is the first part of this section of video. So I'm going to try this one more time, and this will be my last video until I get the other camera in, because I'm not going to deal with this. I have been so agitated for the last 3 days, and pissed off, and it's starting to come out in my videos, and I don't want that for the Bison Workshop. So this is going to be the last video I do until I get a working good camera. And if somebody out there has a camera that they can spare, maybe we can do some trading. I need one that does good video, good resolution. I need one that has an external mic plug-in so that I can plug in an external mic. Mainly because when I'm working on the how to make your building great again, I need to be able to have a mic right on my shirt so that my voice, you ain't got to hear or strain your ears to hear me. But anyway, I'll trade you something, I'm sure. Just make sure it's something that's light enough that I ain't got to pay out the ass to ship it to you. But anyway, I wanted to ask the question, and this is going to end part 1 of the speedaire air compressor build. I don't know if it's going to be a build or if it's going to be a restore. I'd like to build one, but I'm going to just fix it, you know, fix it up to get it working, sell my other one, take that one and try to find a tank, take the money out of that one and try to get a tank, and I want to add volume to it. But first I got to get a motor. I have this pump motor that came off of a pool for pumping water through the filter, and the RPMs on every tool is around about 1700 RPMs, which means it starts slow, it runs slow. This one runs at 3450 RPMs. So I'm thinking that because it's running so fast, the pump is going to prevent it from going as fast as it needs to go to start off with, and it may cause damage to the motor. It may put an unnecessary strain on it. I wanted to ask if anybody thought that this would be, or if this would work on this air compressor, because this is the pump that I'm using. And I hate this camera because I got to move everything in the camera, and it sucks. But this is the pump that I'm going to be using, and this is the pulley that goes to it. And this pulley is, find a tape measure here. See, this is the way it's been all day, and I'm just about agitated. You know, everything's always where I don't want it to be. Yeah, 10 inches. 10-inch pulley, and that's a pretty hefty pulley. That thing's pretty heavy. And I think this thing needs an actual tool motor instead of a pull motor. Yeah, that rhymed. So I don't know if this will work. This thing is 1 horsepower, and I know that because it's 1 horsepower, you would think that it would be enough, but you know, with the 1 horsepower and the high rated speed, I'm thinking they're going to conflict with each other with this pump. It may not want to start up once the pressure gets on the pump, and I'm almost certain that's what's going to happen. So if anybody has any ideas as to whether this will work or not, and I need technical ideas, not guessing ideas. Anyway, I'm going to end this before I start throwing stuff around the shop. That's just the way my last week has been going. I'm just fed up right now. So just bear with me. Part 2 is not going to come back out or come out until I get another camera. I hate this. It's zoomed in too close, you know, and it's zoomed out all it can go. So I can't get any further away unless I was to take the camera and put it clear across the shop, and I'm not doing that. So just bear with me, guys. You guys have a good one. Later.